expected. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The mission of Sunnybrook School District 171 is to maximize student achievement by cultivating critical thinking skills, innovative instructional practices, and a collaborative school, home, and community partnership. Roll call.
Derek Burke, present. Tamara Hill, Serene Smith,
Present.
Timothy Terrell,
Present.
Ambrose,
Present.
LaSure,
Here.
and Thompson.
Here.
Any person wishing to address the board about an item that is on the agenda should do so when that item is up for discussion. Visitor statements will be limited to 2 minutes per person. A total of 30 minutes will be allocated for visitor comments. All comments about items not on the agenda will be held until the visitor statements at the end of the meeting. Items related to personnel issues will be redirected to the appropriate administrator. We are at item F, recommend motion to approve the regular Board of Education meeting minutes of May 19, 2025, closed session minutes of May 19, 2025, June expenses and May payroll in an amount of $2,143,323.42 as presented.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by LaSure, second by Terrell. Burks, yes. Smith,
Yes.
Terrell,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes,
LaSure,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
we're at item G, communications. Okay. Once, twice. Okay. At item H, informational items. Letter to Miss Alma Augusto, letter from, who is it?
Patricia Gleason Board is a
Rate modification and the end of year financial update. Okay. Yeah, item I, board reports. Anybody have anything? I don't. No? Okay. We're at item J, administrative reports. We're going to start this evening with Mr. Kent.
All right. Well, good evening, Dr. Pettis, school board.
Good evening.
Have a presentation for you, and the presentation, as it says, is the reading place. It's not very long at all. It is the reimagining of Nathan Hale's library, what we're sitting in right now. And this is a presentation, it's about spotting, modernization. It's about sharing those things with you from the principal of the school that will continue to drive our students towards learning. One of those things is this library. Libraries do one thing that no other institution does, and that's provide access to all of our burden. I know we probably remember him, Reading Rainbow. Yes, but I thought that quote was great because what we have right here is we have a significant amount of space. Most schools, as I've studied this and in my experience, suffer from the fact of a few things. One is they don't have the space and they need more space. The other is that the space they have is unattractive. It's not exciting. And what we're sitting in right now is a wonderful space that is no longer exciting to our kids. It doesn't capture their interest. It doesn't drive them to come here. And that's what we want. One thing piggybacks upon another. We need to get you interested and keep you interested in learning. I'll bring this back up again, not in this presentation, but when we go to the end of the year presentation. So that piece right there, libraries do one thing that no other institution does. We need the same thing going on in our school right now. As my history tells me, this used to be the gym at one time. That's why we have the space that's here. This is how I look at brilliance. What was brilliant is what we're sitting under, the loft. How do I know that? Because it's 2025 right now, and every kid that comes in here wants to go in that loft. They want to see what's up there. That drives them to get here. It's underutilized because we haven't kept it moving forward. We haven't kept it modernized. Fact of the matter is, that's what we hope to do in this presentation. The other thing, which was popular back at that time, was the circulation desk. The circulation desk is huge. Back at that time, it may have been absolutely wonderful. This will all make sense if it doesn't. But guess what? This is hard to change. These tables are heavy. We have to pick them up. We have to move them. We have to shift them around. The chairs are all over the place. The shelving is stabilized. It's stable. It won't move. We can get a lot more use by making our space more effective. And that is what this is going to be about: purposeful library with a purpose, library driving the kids, pulling them in, being able to do a very amount of things in the library. Again, the purpose, the library should be the hub of our school. The space is big. We have everything that we need, except we don't have the excitement generating from the library. This whole library is underutilized. I told you this was brilliant, but it's still underutilized. The Nathan Hill Library was created from a space that one time served as the gymnasium, so we had the space. Again, in my study and putting all of this together, the one thing that we don't have to worry about is space, but we have to keep our energy moving forward and modernizing what we do have. Getting to the nitty-gritty, to reimagine the space, we divided the area into 5 zones. You can split it down the middle, and I have a map on here that will show you that, and then horizontally across. So you can look at 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is on top. Both of these we counted as 2 different zones. Let me show you this vision. Right now, going back to the way libraries were and the way they were in the school, we expect one class to come in here and have the librarian's attention. Oh, no. We should have a class upstairs, a class down here. We should even have some adults over there furthering what they're doing in the classroom while the librarian is up front with the kindergarten class, sitting down, reading and telling stories. And all of this can be going on at one time. It is a mind shift, because you have to have the librarian in place that's also thinking along those same terms. I don't know, in another lifetime, I was a reader, a story reader at Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble is what I see all over here. Kids moving around, adults moving around. We have parent meetings that we can hardly fit in here because it's so problematic. Why aren't we able to move the furniture with ease, set up a parent section here and a parent section back there? It's about getting more bang for our buck, and we can do that. So when you come in the library, obviously this is outside, just trying to get you that view. I'm not sure if I am standing in the correct place for this, but when we look at coming through, you're coming in the library. Here is the loft area right here. Here is your circulation desk. Oh, sorry. There's your circulation desk. Oh, I'm showing you all my goodies. There's the circulation desk when you come in. This whole area that you see over here, the shelves have been removed, and the plan is not to simply take good stuff and throw them out, but it's to repurpose them. As you know, we have walls, retractable walls that are coming down. Well, some of these shelves will be new shelving space in the classroom. We'll utilize what we can in the library to hold our books. Most of those will be up against the wall, while we have seating that's designed for the kids, flexible seating that we can move all around, that can also go through day-to-day schooling, as well as even parent meetings if we should need to. So as you come into the library, you'll come in, and then you'll see the circulation desk. You'll see this section over here, Zone 2. Here's Zone 2 that we talked about. You can see some of the seating. You can see some of the pods that are there. These aren't regular tables like these. These are tables that are built for kids. Some of them are low to the floor like this, where the kids will sit on little pillows, if you will. Some of them are regular chairs. Some of them, the idea is that the students themselves can get out of the mindset and guess what? Feel comfortable in a place that we want them to read for enjoyment as well as understand their studying. This library has to do more than just what its old function was. So Zone 2 would be over here. Zone 3, not a great picture, sorry about it. This is the circulation desk right here, so you're looking at it. When you come in, we hope to downsize the footprint. Why downsize it? Because it'll give us another 17 or feet that we can't use right now. The idea is that kids want an opportunity to move, to have some elbow room. We might, as I had mentioned to you before, have a class under here and over there. Why can't there be kids working in small groups by themselves or our enrichment group? There has to be more than one thing going on, and we can drive that right here. So as you come in, that circulation desk, we're looking to downsize it. We did a survey on this, and the people, I am certainly one that don't have any problem telling you that circulation desk is too big. But I also know that, guess what? Some people were here when that circulation desk rolled out. And at that time, like I said, that was a star feature in this area. So this is a win-win. What we're trying to do right now is downsize it, yet keep some of that old skeleton that's still there. Zone 3 is right across from you. Those large stationary bookshelves, that's going to be gone. We have, if you remember, when I came over here, there were 3 more long tables of nothing more than desktop computers. There was about a class worth that was there. We started removing those because it is dictated that, guess what? All of our kids have one-to-one opportunities now. We didn't need that anymore, so we downsized to 5. Now those 5 are going away. What you're looking at across there is an opportunity to have a more traditional library in which there will be tables so kids can understand that there's an etiquette that goes with this. That when you go into the public library, how to act, what you should do. And guess what? That education is all around you. So again, those desks, won't just be tables over there, but we'll have those outfitted with chargers because the kids may not come in with just binders. The teachers may come in with them and you'll see them all on the table, at the tables with their Chromebooks open. So again, how do we modernize what we have to benefit our students? So that's zone 3. Zone 4 and 5, down here. Zone 4, upstairs, zone 5. It is so wonderful. What I'm about to show you, I hope we can certainly pull it off. You'll see on the next slide, but I know we've been investigating. I've been working with Dr. McGowan, and we were looking at a smart board going upstairs, connected to the one downstairs. Oh, you know what I'm thinking already. Here come the 5th, here comes the 4th grade, here comes the 3rd grade. There's a class down here, there's a class up there. We have teachers doing the same lesson, but the kids are out of their classroom, and we know that that's powerful. Now, you might say to yourself, okay, so the kids upstairs, kids down here, I want kids over there, I want kids all over the place. It's going to be kind of noisy for this group in here. Well, what we hope to do is enclose it off. And we found transparent panels just down here that would go all the way around, making this a classroom unto itself. Upstairs, we don't have to worry about it as much, but downstairs, we will also have the smart board connected to the one upstairs, so the teachers are doing the same lesson. Because we have utilized what we could during special events, we know we could get 2 classes up there. We could get 2 classes down here, depends on how we do it. But right now, there is no barriers or anything that really makes that possible. This kind of puts the ooh into what we're trying to do. And those retractable walls, again, the transparent walls, they can come down if we need them to come down because maybe our function is larger than that. In order for the library to become the hub of the school, it must be able to speak to various interests. And again, you know that. Hey, I can tell you when I was back in school, which was a whole nother lifetime, you know what? I can go back to 3rd grade and I'll tell you right now, I would have had a better chance and been a better reader if when I opened the comic book, my teacher would have let me go rather than snatching the comic book. So you know what? We have grown with that. We need a section that's going to talk about the different styles, the different genres that we have. We need to have something for everybody, and we can do that. We just got to keep the energy going. This should be the hub of our school. And this library should be the source of our activities, not just to come and read, but to come and get on your computer, not just to come and hear a story, but to also be able to make something, to take it with you. This has to be powerful. We have the space to do it, and I think we have the energy to do it. So I hope that you will certainly continue the modernization that we're experiencing here at Nathan Hale. I did a little price breakout as far as things are concerned. All furniture is $166,000. New carpet is $50,000. The smart board, $7,500. And does this mean everything is engraved in concrete? No. It means that my job is to put a plan together. Oh, and I'd love you to say, oh, just handle it. Just go ahead and do it. I would love you to say that. But it's built on reality because I work in reality. So the fact of the matter is I needed to put everything together, to give it to Dr. Pettis, to give it to Mr. Schrader, to give it to them. And then from that point, we can branch out from there. But if you're on to the modernization part, if you're on to we can get more bang for our buck, then I presented that to you. Acoustic ceiling panels, you know what? The lights we had done, we are in a gym, so it does get loud because there's nothing to take that sound, to suck up that sound. We are looking at some baffles. This is 15 baffles up here. These are clouds, if you will, of which they would be around the classroom, around the library, just providing some of that, I want to go in there because it's beautiful. Painting quote needed, you know what, if we can buy the paint, the OBM staff and I will get in here and we will paint it ourselves. It won't go all the way to the top, but we will take care of all of the bottom up to the blue. I don't want to get rid of the blue.
For the record, they painted it, what you see now, they're the ones who painted the light.
And we will go all the way up to the blue. And then the downsizing of the circulation desk, that's talked about tonight, had that checked out too. $15,000 is the low bid to high. I wanted to see if I could narrow it down from there. I didn't know whether we could do it, but when you look at the pillars over there, if they were steel beams going down it, then we wouldn't touch it. It would be too expensive to do.
Right.
They're not. They're sitting on wood. So what we hope to do is that is metal up top. It's a thin metal. But what we hope to do is cut it, reshape it, and put it back together, creating that downsized piece, pulling it in. So that's the work there. And as you can see, there is electricity because the lights go around it. I don't know about you, but I'm excited about it. And I hope that you're excited about it too. And again, that is the reading piece.
Thank you.
We were looking at what we could do with this space because the library here has not been updated in any capacity in the last 32 years. Even the carpet is the same. So if you went to school here 32 years ago, it's the same carpet. It's pretty much the same everything. So we were looking at trying to get it done in a smaller increments so it won't be too costly all at once. I'm trying to do it at baby steps. But every June, we do an end of the year review to kind of talk about what did we do at Sunnybrook. And that is why Mr. Schrader sent you the end of the year financials. We will be talking about doing a budget a little later on. But for us, July 1st starts the beginning of our new year. So we still haven't got to New Year's Eve yet. And so consequently, we haven't gotten all of our budget allocations from the state. So we're still waiting in limbo to kind of figure out what we're doing and what direction. But we gave you that. I've also emailed you some end of the year data as relates to discipline. But we are going to take a look. So collectively, administratively, we're going to do an end of the year PowerPoint. I'm good. I can't get nothing. Yay! You know, you ain't right. You ain't right. Where's the clicker? Be careful. For real, we can't hit my foot. So let's talk about some of the highlights. We've had many highlights, but I guess these were the ones that really made me smile. We have STEM for kindergarten to fourth grade. I was really excited about that. We had some ups and downs, but believe it or not, the kids enjoyed it to great levels. Heritage took second. Come here, y'all, give it to me. Heritage took second place at the South Carolina Let me tell you why I miss everything to me, and it is personal. When we first started this, we go against kids at Palos, Tinley, Orland, and when we first, we had a student who was like a runner-up, and I think a kid was like, Sunnybrook, what's that? Where you from? And my kids took it personal. And I told them, oh no, we fabulous. I'm my own cheerleader. We fabulous, we divas, we got this. So last year we came up to third place. They picked, we can't do third. I'm too much of a diva for that. So my babies told me they was gonna bring me second or first, and my babies rocked it out. I was super excited. Seventh grade is the first time in our history of Sunnybrook School District 171 that we actually went downstate and took fourth overall for our seventh grade. So eighth grade should just be amazing. And we took our first Heritage House leadership trip to, we took students, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm still a little stressed out about that. I thank Miss Ambrose for going, but I did burn up Miss Cameron Farm. I just burnt up her phone when she took staff there. But we took our students on an airplane to Atlanta just to get them some sense of leadership, because usually we take them down, say Springfield. So to me, that was super huge. Now, we did a whole lot of other things, but I think these are 4 things that we truly can be proud of. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. We remodeled Naked Hills entrance and office. Okay. So we start every school year as our back to school bonanza. I know this because I started this here about 8 years ago. I think I started it, and it has grown and grown. And you know what? It makes me proud because our families call me now. I'm like, are we gonna still do it? It's just a nice way to get the teachers out, to meet their new students. The families they see us when we're not complaining. Everybody's happy. That's a good look, Mr. Terrell, I'm telling you. So that's how we started. But on another note, we have to do, prior to the first day of school, we have to do safety meetings. I know a lot of people don't want to talk about safety meetings, but that's very important to me. So that's how you get the new entrance in the doorways. That's how you get the new lights outside the buildings. We meet with the police, we meet with the fire department, we all come together and kind of talk about it. And part of the things that we do the active weather, we do the lockdown, you do the bus, you do the school evacuation drills, and then you do the annual safety meeting. But when our school evacuation drills are a little bit more high tech than other school districts because we are close to an airport. So we have to have a drill that talks about what happens if an airplane goes down. And that, I'll be honest with you, is a whole different type of conversation that you have to have with kids and parents. So we are always looking at our curriculum. That is more of a Dr. Lowe's thing than an Erica thing, but I still look at it with her. So one of the very first things we did, and I'll let Dr. Lowe's talk about it, we did a really big dumpster dive into science. And that's just because, again, it's personal for me because we haven't had science in our district for over 10 years. For our kids at Nathan Hill, they had no science. So when they got over to Heritage Middle School, it was special for 5th grade. It was real special. But by the time they got to 8th grade and now 7th grade, we are dissecting. So your students this year, I want to say they dissected a baby shark that was way over my head. What they're doing, they're actually in 7th grade, they're dissecting frogs. They're dissecting little bitty piglets. And that's huge because a lot of times kids don't do that until they go to high school. So I wanted to give our kids a much more enriched experience, which is why we started Science Day. But I'll let you talk about that. Wait, let me move first.
So this was our first year of implementing science back into Nathan Hale, which really was a great experience. We had 2 science days where the kids had that. And as we get through the survey, you'll see obviously gym always comes up, but science was a huge part of what the students loved, and that just excitement that bringing it back, that there really is no right answer, and that your environment can skew your data, and that just because you did this experiment and you were outside over here to the north or to the south or wherever you were at, that your data may look different because of how you did it and what the environment, where the wind was blowing or what may happen. So there's lots of growth was taking place, and just getting our students to be problem solvers and thinkers, because ultimately that's what we want. We don't want robots, we want problem solvers and thinkers. So Mr. Kent and I talk a lot about implementing those types of questions. We're not gonna do right there questions. We're not gonna do think and search because you can find the answer. We want on our own and with, so that students start thinking so they can be independent thinkers and creators. We also was our second year with implementation of our new reading series. And when we get to our data, we'll talk more about that. And then this was the end of our first year with our new math to lay down those stronger foundational skills that our students need, because we do need to support our students more with our math and moving forward with that. Moving on to our bilingual population, currently Sunnybrook District, about 15% of our students are in our bilingual, receive bilingual services. Our bilingual department consists, we have to do 4 what we call BPAC meetings, or Bilingual Parent Advisory Committee meetings. So we do 4 a year, and we usually do them in conjunction with our parent university so that we can get more parents to come out. This year, I want to give a big shout out and a thanks to Ms. Magana. She is our bilingual parent committee advisory representative. So we have to have someone from it. So Ms. Magana has kindly done that for us. She organized the 4 meetings, and then a big thanks to Ms. Q and Ms. Abenda, because they put together the presentations and provided the support to our families, of our Spanish-speaking families. But it's open to everybody. This is just some videos from our EL department, all of the activities and things that we did throughout the year. Hispanic Heritage Night, our Nigerian Heritage Night, our 4th graders Black History projects, all the reading that they did. We did create with our Title III funds. We purchased a lot of new books for our EL library, so the students have an opportunity to get books that are in their native language that they can take home and read with their parents. Our EL Garden, they've had tons of fun putting that together. Again, this goes with Mr. Kent and Dr. Pettis' mission to get that science really fully engaged in our school, and this is part of that. We use this. Showing the heritage spirits, making sugar skulls, the Nigerian Heritage Night, bilingual book tasting. This is one of the funnest activities that Ms. Cambrick has with her bilingual department, is that they do what they call a book tasting. So they go through and they pretend they're tasting all these different books, and then they write synopsis about what they would like to read. And then Day of the Dead. And now we're going to our data. So we move into our STAR data. And as I told you for the last several years, one of the biggest things that we want to do is we want to show growth. We don't want our red to be high. And if you look, we are 10% higher in the red this year than we were last year. We knew this going in December. And this is going to go back to the presentation that Mr. Kent also just gave. So we knew we were going to take a dip, and it is circling around our elementary. So Mr. Kent and his brilliant team sat down and they put together a plan, which became the Reading Place. And part of that plan is to implement an after-school program that they did for the last quarter, where the students came, and then continue it into the summer with the same students to assist with our lack of growth that we did not have, that we wanted to have. So we knew this, like I said, going in January. I said December, I meant January. And Mr. Kent and his team put together a beautiful proposal in which they came up with a wonderful opportunity to hopefully get our students more engaged by redesigning our library to get books in students' hands. You know, we talk a lot about this with technology. It's beautiful, you can read, but there's just something powerful about a book in your hand and flipping the pages. And that's what we want to bring back, because we see we have this issue. And one of the things that we saw through the Reading Place was they did a lot of reading out loud. And the love, and the students are there, and the encouragement of it. And yesterday, last week, Mr. Kent and I got to sit with the students in the summer school program, and a student that has been struggling all year took it upon himself to go ask for assistance. So we don't know, because we'll have to do our survey and our data to see how our results were and if our program is working, or at least moving us in the right direction. So we don't know that, and we won't know that until we are able to test our students at the beginning of the year. But ultimately, what we're seeing based on our students' actions is that they're wanting to learn. So that's the biggest obstacle, is when you give them that confidence and that ability to learn. If they want it, they're going to seek it out. And that's what Mr. Kent and I were able to see this past week, which was a really good experience. So kudos to Mr. Kent and his team for really looking at it, not wasting any time, putting a process in place real quick to address this issue. So thank you for that. And then math, the same thing. We're still fighting and struggling with that. I've got Ms. Washington and I are working to kind of put some stuff and interventions into place with Dr. Pettis' approvals as we move forward, just to get those basic skills and those foundational things that we're working on to try to ensure our students get what they need to be successful.
So let me just say this, there is a in October, we're gonna do another presentation. And I think sometimes, I'm not sure the board always, and not necessarily sure, the community always get theirs different. The STAR that you just saw is day-to-day performance, okay? We do that 3 times a year. What we're gonna present to you in October is our IAR scores, that's our state scores. Now, we do have the preliminary scores in already, but I just can't really, they haven't been like massively approved by ISB yet, so I can't share them. But there is a difference. But when you take a look at the STAR scores are supposed to be a predictor on how we do on the IAR. And this year, not really. We did a lot better on the IAR, but for me, at least for me and my team, we have to think about, no disrespect, I don't want my kids just to be good to take a test.
Correct.
I want my kids to be functioning in every aspect of life on a daily basis. So we look at the STAR scores a lot more intensely. And what we've also discovered with our scores is that we've had an influx. We had quite the influx this year of new students to our district.
We got,
Quite the influx.
we had 20% of our current population is new to the district. And so that does skew our data, but sometimes people look at those as excuses and so forth, and we're not. We're working to meet all the needs of our students regardless, but unfortunately, when we show year-to-year data, that will, change the way you look at it in the statistics, because it does change it. So this year, we actually had almost 100 more students that we tested on top of 20% were new students to the district. So
we take a cohort. So we have a cohort that at some point we will present to you that data. So
Yes.
you're going to get quite a few presentations coming your way, because we take a look at the kids who've been with us from pre-K, kindergarten, all the way up to 8th grade versus students who come in, because I need to see if there's some continuity in how my teachers are teaching.
Correct.
And right now, we know that we do have, and this seems to be a hurdle that I just can't seem to get over, is a disconnect in the area of math between 4th and 5th grade. Our kids, they do wonderful in 4th grade, not so well in 5th grade, but then they get back on track for 6th grade. So something has got to be done for 5th grade, which is how come we've started the Step Up program to start getting the kids acclimated to Heritage Middle School as 5th graders. We've even, we're throwing around the idea right now of maybe even moving 5th grade back over to this building, because we do separate. But just know that we do look at the data, and we've got a lot of things on the plate that we're talking about and what we can do, because you just can't keep giving the same answer all the time. Nobody wants to hear that. We got to hear some growth, and I think, and I'm just saying it for myself, for far too long, we've had that struggle in 5th grade. But we do have some things, though, that we can tout, because we have done some wonderful things.
So with our high school proficiency, we're very lucky that we get to offer algebra in our school, thanks to Mr. Bronson having the license to be able to teach it, so that's wonderful for us. And with that being said, we had 8 of our students pass their algebra proficiency exam, which is great, because that means they don't have to take algebra, they have that credit, they can move forward into geometry, and such a wonderful thing as a student going into high school to know they've already got one thing down. And as impressive as that is, I have to go to this with our Spanish, is that we are very lucky to have Mr. Torres as our Spanish teacher. A lot of times we don't as people, we don't like to compliment ourselves, so I have to compliment sometimes for my teachers, but to have 53 non-speaking Spanish students pass the test and go into Spanish 2, I don't think I've even ever heard of that. That is so phenomenal, and it definitely needs kudos, because that is fantastic. And if you ever get the opportunity to go to Heritage, I would recommend walking in, because there's a lot of times I'm like, what is going on in there? I have to go look, and when I walk in, they're learning through dance, they're learning through songs, they're learning through whatever it may be, but they're always actively engaged, and it's just it's a nice feeling to hear and to see, but to see that number, 53, I mean, non-native students passed into Spanish 2 is phenomenal. And so we always do our end of the student surveys for our students, just to kind of see what our students feel, because we feel one way, but we all know perception is different, and our students are the reason we're here, so we need to hear what they feel. So most enjoyed subjects, see what I said, science. The students last year didn't have science in 4th grade, and when they went to 5th grade, they were so happy they got science that it was their favorite class. Social studies, 6th and 7th grade. Best learning methods, they felt that they learned better on their Chromebook for 5th and 7th, but 6th grade loved group work, which was great. I thought that was a great way to look at things. What made learning fun? 5th grade said nothing. And we gotta take that, so we have to look at that and say, okay, we gotta make fun, because our 5th graders don't think it's fun. 6th grade said friends, and then 7th grade said fun activities, which is the things that, you know, we Miss Cambrick, I can't say we, Miss Cambrick 100%. They do so many fun things for the students, for our students, and it's just amazing. Favorite subject across the street for 5th grade was art, which we can see why. Gym, 6th and 7th. At least enjoy, 5th grade said none. So even out of all of the things that they have to do, they still didn't feel that any of them was not their favorite subject. And unfortunately, EL2 for us is writing. That's a common thing. Kids don't like to write. And yeah, I might fall in that spectrum. I love math. But then for our, so here the Heritage Continuing Clubs joined, yes. Top club was Open Gym, they loved, and the track. New club, they would like to have football. Mind care strategies, talking with a friend, plus exercise breaks in 7th grade. Healthy foods, they want grapes. We do give grapes, but they must want more grapes. And then how staff assisted me. So we wanted to see, like, what did people feel about our staff? And they said, you know, they really loved the shout outs, help them when they needed it, both academically and emotionally. So in Miss Cambrick's building, they do shout outs during RTI meetings, they do house meetings, they do it in the comments every day. They'll give a shout out on something. So it's that constant just feeling good about yourself. Unfortunately, I feel as a society, we've stopped doing that. We stopped recognizing people for their excellence, and we need to do that again. And that's what they're telling us they want.
So we do take these surveys seriously. That's how we got soccer. And so we got soccer in both buildings. Miss Blount does her little league, and Mr. Dolan, Mr. Torres, and Mr. Spruss have made me super proud. And they've taken it to a whole new level. We did four real life soccer games this year. I was like super happy, super happy. And some of these people have been doing soccer a long time. They dominated us, but that's okay. We look good in our uniforms. And tell me, sometimes you just gotta look good, you feel good.
That's right.
We look good, we were out there, and it's just amazing. That's how we figured out, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but the kids at Heritage get 2 choices for lunch. Because last year when we did the survey, they were not pleased that everyone gets to eat the same thing. So we came back, we gave them 2 choices. Okay.
Now we gotta give them more grapes.
I guess I gotta give them more grapes now. But we do take a look at this, and now next year we're gonna try hands some cross country. See, my whole thing is that we don't have a boys and girls club. And so, not that you don't want your kids to be at home, not that we love staying here all night, but I feel if my kids have a deep-rooted investment in the school, they do better. And then we can reach them more, and hopefully, with their parents' collaboration, get them on the right path and keep them out of trouble. So if you ever look on our website, that's how you see the book. We've got so many clubs now, more than we've ever had, but it's really a good thing.
When you have to have Mr. Ken has talked about this a bunch of times, the art teacher cutter club into quarters because we don't want to turn anybody away. That's a powerful thing. Our students want to be here. And that's a good feeling on my part. For Nathan Hale, we only do 3rd and 4th grade because the rest of the survey, we're not really for sure if the students would necessarily get it, and the teacher would probably more be guiding their answers. So we only do 3rd and 4th grade here. So most subject that they enjoy is math, which is great because that makes me feel good. They at least love it. We just got to make sure we're giving them what they need to be successful. Best learning method, they love group work here. So that's a positive because Mr. Kent can speak to that. He is seeing so much more group work than he's ever seen before with students working together. And that really, all of that kind of goes back to that push for us bringing science back in. Science is one of those ultimate subjects where group work tends to work better, and it is helping us. What made learning fun? They said they math and gym. Favorite special was gym. Least they said 3rd grade said nothing, and 4th grade said reading, and that makes sense. It really does make sense with all the data that we're showing and everything that we saw. We put things into place that really does make sense. When you struggle with something, you don't want to like it. They love the clubs. Soccer was their favorite club. They want new clubs. They want a basketball club here. They want an art club, which we did hear them. So we did put a basketball club right now for summer school to pilot it. It is wonderful. They are loving it. Ms. Adams is doing a fantastic job. She created a proposal. She submitted it to Mrs. Cuevas, And it was with a rainy day plan in case we weren't able to be outside. So she really wanted our students to have it, and they are loving every part of it. They're asking for apples and corn. We do have that, but I guess they want more. Staff assisted me, they helped me when I was struggling, and then they gave me a shout out award. Again, our students love that. And so we just have to be mindful of it and continue to keep doing the excellent things that we're doing.
In all honesty, we only do corn 4 times a year because it's hard to get off the floor. So I can't really talk
Thank
about
you so
getting
much.
more.
Yes, we had a wonderful year, and I can't speak enough to how proud I am of my principals and my teachers and most of all my students. We had a year, and we learned a lot this year. We have a lot of growing to do. We will continue to do, but that's all we can do. Continue to move our students from where they are and ensure that we move them further. Thank you.
Thank you.
One of our main projects this year in People Services was our Preschool for All program. We've always had the special education, self-contained pre-K. This year, we worked with the state of Illinois, obtained a grant, was able to open a beautiful new classroom. And we had 7 pre-K screening dates all the way through the year. We actually added on a date. We screened 64 students, and we provided services for 36 pre-K students at Nathan Hale. This was one of the favorite parts of my week, was walking through the pre-K classrooms. They were doing flower art down here. We have a research-based curriculum. They're working in stations and independently. And they're really hardworking teachers. We're teaching our kids to learn how to learn. And they're coming in with different skills. And this is for 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. So it was really great. 20 of our pre-K students were promoted to kindergarten. So we had an end of the year celebration here. It was wonderful. We had a bounce house, we had snacks, but we had 55 guests come. And it was in this area. Can't wait to see what it looks like next year, Mr. But the kids did this great skit. They had some of their artwork and projects around, and there was just a lot of excitement. For Pupil Services, right now we have 170 students from pre-K through 8th grade that are eligible for special education services and supports. So we had about 70 evaluations. That includes the initial evaluations. There were about 25, and then we had almost 50 reevaluations. Our social workers were working hard with social developmental studies. We had speech and language evaluations. Our psychologists completed over 60, but overall, we had 252 special education meetings this year. So everybody always has at least one, several had 2.
And then some.
Yes.
So,
And kudos to Ms. Green, because I don't think she gives herself enough accolades with this. One of the things, and we're gonna talk about, we got audited by the state. When I tell you the state audited every aspect of Sunnybrook, the state audited every aspect of Sunnybrook this year. And I mean everything. We did exceptionally well. The one thing that we got things doing is kind of an oxymoron that indicated we didn't do enough staff development on differentiated instruction. And that's all that we do, so it's kind of funny. But what is a good thing and the kudos is that we here at Sunnybrook, we don't have self-contained classrooms. So our special ed students, outside of being 3 to 5-year-olds, once you hit kindergarten up, we integrate you into the regular ed environment. And that's just because we got this mindset that the world is not separate. So we try to keep our kids integrated within the whole population. And what Ms. Green did, she did something that I struggled for years to do. And that's put more kids within the regular ed curriculum. It's not always an easy task. People are not always happy when our students are being exposed to it. And that is a kudos because sometimes, you get to be nurturing with kids, and whether you know it or not, maybe you're watering down, maybe you're protecting them. But our kids, especially when they get to the middle school, they want to be like their friends. So we've pushed so many of our students into the regular ed curriculum. It's been some tearful days, but we soldiers, we got back up and we keep moving and we keep marching. So I'm so proud of them because when it comes down to their high school meeting, you can have realistic conversations. Because one of the things when you come to the high school meeting, they talk about what type of classes do your child need. And the reality is, if your child has never been in a general ed classroom, how then can you say he won't be successful there? And at some point, you have to let these young people start advocating for themselves because their parents won't always be there. And when you have an IEP, you can carry it on to get accommodations and modification even in a college setting. So we've started doing that. We've started talking to our students about that, teaching them how to advocate. So I have to say kudos to Ms. Green for doing that for me. Thank you.
For technology, this was our first full year of implementation of Parent Square. One of the key things that Parent Square has helped us achieve is a 100% connectivity rate with our parents. And that is something to be proud of as a district because the national average is only about 80%. And when we say we're connected 100% of our parents, that means for every student, we have at least one contactable parent, either through our text messaging, app notifications, email, things of that nature. So that's something, we've actually been recognized nationally for that. Obviously, the launch of our new website a couple months ago, which we've been getting a lot of good compliments about that. It's actually the best looking website we've had in the 9 years I've been here for sure. And like I said, I just think it's, I designed the other ones too, so so it was a huge, big step up for us. And like I said, again, we're being recognized for that. I think it's a lot easier to find the information if you've been digging around. The next thing is we are almost cashless. That is a huge step forward we took this year. We will never be a 100% cashless district. I don't think any school district ever could be. So we're not being unrealistic here. But we have taken the steps forward. It is a security issue. There's room for errors. There's room for a lot of different things when you're cash handling in any business and districts, whatever. But we've taken the steps to move forward, and we've even got some new things we're going to be rolling out. Because actually our sporting events are one of the last things that we are heavy cash. But Ms. Hambrick, Mr. Schrader and I have had conversations, and we think we've got a good plan in place to go even more cashless for next year. A little more secure. With our live streaming, this year we streamed more events than we ever have. We live streamed over 70 events this year. And every year I always used to give you the stats for everything. We have stayed about where we are, which is great. I mean, we have over 100 people view our sporting events. We have found out that other districts, because we are the only district in the Cal Ridge Conference that streams their games. And we have gotten word that other districts, that parents are happy when they play us at home because they do have the opportunity to see the games. So that is huge for us. And we're going to keep that going.
And we also designed the Cal Ridge.
Yeah, we also run their website too. So we kind of have the technology cornered in the Cal Ridge area.
Yeah.
And then the last thing, obviously, as we talked about before, this was our first full year of STEM K through 8, but heavily over here for K through 4. I think we even have better things ahead coming with that in this upcoming year. Okay.
So, Mr. Schrader coached me through this morning. So for our financial profile, I don't know what to say, but Mr. Schrader don't play with the money. I don't think that's no other way to say that. So we got the overall recognition of, we just got the higher recognition. Like I said, we had a very successful audit, a very grueling audit. It took me over a week to find a check that I was like, I don't believe right there, I didn't know where the check went, but we found that check. So we did a really good, successful audit. But let's talk about construction. Again, if you just look, it just makes me feel good now when parents pull up to our Nathan Hill School, because for Mr. Ken and I, when we first did the construction, I want you to know we got dogged out by some parents. They were none too happy about what it looked like, and we kept saying, give it time, give it time. And now they walk in, and it's really warm, it's very inviting. I can't say enough how thankful that Mr. Ken and I are to Ms. Coombs, because she decorates outside. She's the one who puts those little peeps and everything out there. She and Miss Camry, Miss Camry came over and helped Mr. Kent and I, because we are not artistic, put together the whole vestibule. So again, super thank you, Miss Camry, super thank you. If you take a look at the nurse's office and even the district office or the main office for Mr. Kent and his staff to work in is larger, it's more safe and more secure. Because again, that was, a big thing for us to have some security at the office because, you know, the world is ever evolving. If you take a look, we didn't stop there, we didn't leave Miss Cambrick out. We started, now we still, oh boy. So you know, Miss Cambrick told me to stop doing things to help building. I'm trying. But we also put in some security measures and did some upgrades to Heritage Middle School. But wait till you see us and I get, ooh-wee. It's gonna be great. We're so excited. So look at it. You see what- Miss Cambrick, are you smiling? Yay. So that's what it looks like over there while our board members, our board meetings are here. This little piece right here, that used to be district office. That's district office in the nurses station. If you notice here, all the lockers are gone. So look at you, Miss Hill. Yep, they all gone. The floor didn't look the best, so we had to take the floor up. Yeah. Miss Cambrick won't have to hear the trust. So these are what our construction, what we're looking at. We're looking at the complete renovation of the nurse's office and the student and faculty restrooms, which are the ones that are closest when you come into district office. They were not ADA acceptable. So if you had a wheelchair or any kind of disability and need a little bit more room, these were not the bathrooms for you. We are remodeling Heritage Teachers Lounge. They have windows. The window is already open there. So we're looking at, for real, it's really, we're trying to invite people to come out their little hubs and to network and make it a more creative space. District office and Heritage office, Mr. Schrader's getting a window. He wants a window, he's getting a window. So there will be windows, we will be more in line, and now we will have a joint conference room, like a little way to connect district office to Heritage office. I mean, I'm there all the time anyway, so we're just gonna have a little connection with the back cave. The back cave, what you call it? Okay. And we are also looking at renovations to the gym activity room, the mechanical room, and the maintenance receiving room. What does all of that mean? That means if you ever walked into the gym, and I know you would never know this, there was it's a blue wall, well, it used to be a blue wall there, where they kept some of the equipment and electrical boxes there. It's not a good look for me to have electrical boxes and kids going in there getting stuff. So I've got to put some boundaries up in there. So that's what's going there. And then the other issue we were having is when we get like pallets of paper or anything large, we could never pull it through the building. We had to take everything off the pallet and take it off because we didn't have the door space. It wasn't a whip to get it through there. And now we will be doing that. Here at Nathan Hill, we've had partition walls. So now we are getting solid walls. And that's construction that's going on right now. You'll see pictures. We did it. For food services, we are a district that no one has to pay for lunches here. So if your student wants to come to schools and just eat here, that's fine. I know a lot of parents still pack lunches because the kids don't want school food, but we served 60,000 breakfasts this year. We did 120 lunches, which is 71%, 120,000, which is 71% of the population. But what I also want you to know that I started a after-school supper program. I tried it last year, but then we kind of had to stop it. But then we took it on this year and we kept it going. What is the supper program? So if you have a student, a lot of our students, they are here past 3. They are here to 4, 5 o'clock. Giving them a sandwich was not working for them or me. So now what we're doing, we're giving them supper. They're having and it's completely different from lunch. When I tell you more kids like the supper program than the lunch program, it's so different. Over here in the hill, because I'm still dealing with babies, they do get like a slice of cheese and some crackers or something like that. Because they eat a little bit slower than my middle school kids, but over there they may get a meatball sandwich with mashed potatoes and gravy. I mean, it's completely different meal. And the kids are loving it. They're loving it so much that I'm making take home for their sibling bag. I'm making bags to go at the end of the day. So I'm really happy for that, and we're gonna keep that going. Remember I told you we did audits. I'm not kidding you. I had a lot of audits. So ISC4, which is our Regional Office of Education, came in and did a comprehensive audit. Overall, we got 85 out of 100. Our student files they're pretty good. They're 92 out of 100. Staff and personnel was 74. What I realized with staff and personnel, I'll take this full slap. We failed to, and I'm gonna own it, and I'm gonna acknowledge it. When we have a substitute that's teaching the class, we're supposed to let the community know. Erica didn't do that. So we got penalized for that, and then we had a couple of instances of doing that. We also, we had to send back our school nurse. Our school nurse was a nurse practitioner. Okay, to me, you're a nurse practitioner. Okay, what else do you need? Okay, I know what you need now. You need certification from the state to say you can sign off on the IEP. Don't worry about it, Ms. Thompson, it's done. She took the class, she passed it. So a lot of the things that you see here, we did come back and we did correct. But at least I need to be very transparent to let you know. Now, if you want to know very much more in detail what it actually said, I've got no problems giving that to you either. The one for policy and governance was 76. And we got things on 3 major causes. One is for kids who wear, what are those called? Habibs? We didn't have a policy to say if you wear a habib, that you can wear all day, even in gym. Thank you.
Yeah.
My apologies.
No worries.
So I think we didn't have a policy in place for that. I did not have a policy in place for concussions. Now, we all get training on concussion, everyone does, but we didn't have a policy in our student parent handbook for it. And the other thing, what's the other thing? Sex education.
Yeah.
I didn't put in for sex education to say parents, they can opt out of having their students opt out of sex education. But don't you worry about it. Dr. Los made sure that I got my life together. And so now in your new, very upcoming handbook, all of that is in there. And in August, all the staff as a whole will be retrained on concussions. And it's a 2-hour training, but they are going to be trained on concussions. So, and then for health, life safety, our buildings, what can you say to Mr. Brandon and Mr. Johnson? Because they hold us down. They may fuss at us and we may fuss at them, but they make sure everything is always together. So we got 100 out of 100 on there. When it talks about our instructional program, we're 83 out of 100 on that as well. So, there's always areas of growth and we are doing well overall. But again, if I want Sunnybrook to be a blue ribbon school, because that is what I really, really want, we've got to do better, and we are putting those steps. For the preschool for all, the findings are still pending, but know this, we hadn't had preschool now for like 15 years, so now we're coming back to have preschool after 15 years, so it is huge, and we are making strides. McKinney-Vento, they said we passed, there's no findings, so yay, we passed. And our overall financial rating, as we talked about on the other side, was 3.9 out of 4. Our discipline data. I can't really compare discipline data from last year from Nathan Hill. I'm unable to do that. But overall, we had 31 suspensions, 22 out of school, merit in school. I sent the board documentation because we do take that serious because I need kids in school to learn. So we did come up with Mrs. Cuevas, came up with in conjunction with Mr. Kent and their PBL team, to talk about things and measures we're going to put in place to kind of make it better for next school year. At Heritage, for the 23-24 school year, we had 86 suspensions. 24-25, which was last year, we had 54, which was a 37% reduction. People, that's huge.
Yes.
That is really huge. And if we didn't have, and I have to be honest, we had our last couple of weeks of school was special, which they were real special, which pushed our numbers up. We probably would have even came out like a 45% reduction if I didn't have such chaotic last couple of weeks of school. But nevertheless, we are still looking to be more creative, to do things to keep our kids in. We are still looking at doing more community outreach with our kids. Okay, go Nationals. Come on, Cambridge.
No nationals?
Go Nationals.
Okay, first, can I say though this, so I'm going into my 5th year as principal at Heritage. And every year, we're in construction. I have not experienced a summer that's, I'm just saying, so I don't want them to just think that I'm complaining about them.
Yes, but you are.
I'm not. I'm just looking forward to the day that the summertime is just a regular summer. And then I'll know what a regular summer looks like. That's all.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, all right. So let's start with art. So we talked about the survey and how the students said that art was one of that subject. So we have a new art teacher. His name is Mr. Bart. Coincidentally, they call him Bart Art. And he's amazing. He is absolutely amazing. He loves the kids. His classes are engaging. The kids love him. And so I like tattoos. So I'm tattooing the walls. So you guys will see different things around the building. Mr. Bard, along with the art club, they're doing a lot of different things. Some things are not finished. So it's like you walk up the stairs in the gym, you'll see the Eagles coming. He just hasn't landed yet, right? So we'll see different pieces that are works in progress, but these are 2 of them that have been completed. I start with art. And of course, Heritage Excellence, we honor our students. We talked about the recognition. We acknowledge our students who are straight A students, who are students who bring good character and all of the good things that we look for in a Heritage student. And so we acknowledge these students once a month during lunch, as well as any students who have birthdays. Some of the teachers sing happy birthday to them. We got our own version of it, but sometimes. And then Student Council, National Junior Honor Society, and Scholastic winners. We just want to make sure that not only are we talking about all of the things that happen, these kids are scholars. And they're doing some amazing things. Treasurer Brown, who is standing here, she's the representative for Student Council for the region, right? And so we haven't had any of those for some time. And so these kids are doing a great job.
Yeah.
This is Dr. Pettis' Scholastic Bowl team. And then, of course, the Heritage Houses. We were lucky enough, as Dr. Pettis said, to send some kids to the Ron Clark Academy in October. We also just came back last week with a group of teachers who went their first experience. Unfortunately, I found out that they're not having the student leadership this year. They're gonna take a break, they'll bring it back next year. And so that'll be some sad news that I'll get to break to the kids, because they were really excited about getting an opportunity to go for this school year. But these are Heritage Houses. Again, we pause the curriculum once a quarter, and we just make sure that they're working together, collaborating, and then they are intergrade level, and so they get an opportunity to spend time with everybody in their house.
And that's something for us to be proud of too, and Mrs. Camper and her hard work, because ISC 4 has done a spotlight on Heritage Middle School and Heritage Houses, and they brought out numerous people. Kudos.
Yay! Okay, so let's talk about HMS Spirit. I remember one board meeting, I told you what they thought we looked like as old people, and so I thought it was fitting to let you see what they thought we looked like as old people. And so this is just us celebrating the spirit of heritage. And then concerts and more, the arts at its finest. These are our students performing at the pep rally and at concerts. This is Black History. I think this is Black History. But again, this is the band. Ms. Wagner is doing a fantastic job of creating this system. And again, the students have band every single day. And so it's always important to have the arts. We talk about the core classes, we talk about reading and math, but we need to talk about the arts, because a lot of times this is what really drives the kids. And so it's good to spend some time with that. And then let's go back real quick. So our drum line, they also perform at the games. So you guys hear them at the games, that's them. Celebrating Black Heritage. Ms. Smith and Dr. B and Ms. Wilson did a fantastic job of bringing a wax museum to life. And it was great because Ruby, who was a graduating 8th grader, she was our Hispanic kid who went and wanted to know more about Black heritage. And so that in itself speaks volumes as to how these kids are very, just in tune. And then we have the ladies of DST come and grace us with their stepping presence. This is Smith right here. the kids were really proud of her. It was the talk of the town for about a good week. Heritage Town, it is. And then, of course, our athletics. Our athletics is showing up and showing out. They are really doing a great job. So much so where I got kids coming up to me asking me if they could just come to Heritage so that they can play on the team. Can I get to Heritage? Stay over at Memorial, okay? No, but again, the boys are doing great. Dr. Pettis talked about it. We talked about track. We got some first place going on in track. First and second place is going on in track. I know that, the state championship is a big thing, but track is also a huge thing. We get at least 75 kids that participate every single year. And then the soccer team, which started off as a soccer club, right? That's what Mr. Ken has. He started off as a soccer club. And we, in the middle of the year, created the team because of the kids. They really needed it. Now they just talked about football. Y'all saw football as one of the things, right? I don't know about football. My heart moves too fast. It's too much pressure.
The flag football.
Well, what I can do is I can connect them with the high schoolers.
Okay.
Yes, and we can collaborate in that way. All right. And then Fun Career Days, and we had our science night as well. The Career Day was amazing. This is the first time that we were able to experience Career Day since before the pandemic. So this is our first time. So that was a good experience for the kids. And we did it on a half day. So it was like their full day was really engulfed in hearing about other professions. And then Science night, I'm sorry. It was all hands on. Okay. So every year I decide that I'm going to eliminate a food group from my diet. I found out at Science Night that shrimp is probably the next one because of the high cholesterol, how bad it's bad for your heart and all the things. So I learned that at Science Night, okay? So Science Night. Listen, they going in there to pretend like it's the heart so they can see where the plaque is and all the things. I'm telling you, Miss LaSure, it was amazing. So that's Career Days and Science Nights. And then, of course, the Descendants, the musical, Miss Peel always does a fantastic job as it pertains to putting on these plays. Next year, I need to talk to Mr. Kim, but I'm going to put it out there in public forum now. Next year, we're going to come to Nathan Hale, and we're going to perform for the kids, and then we're going to have a performance later on.
I love it.
See how I did that? So, and it's always a good crowd. The kids do amazing. And then promoted to the next level. Our fabulous 8th graders. I was so happy to see them coming in, and I'm so happy to see them leaving out. And so we did our annual dinner dance here, and then of course the graduation. We were a great group of students. One of the growth from 5th grade to 8th grade has been amazing. And I had to tell the 8th grade teachers that when I found them complaining about certain things, like listen, Linda. You didn't know them as a 5th grader. These are amazing students. They're doing a fantastic job. And so I'm really proud of them, and I'm looking forward
You
to
talk
seeing
about
how
the
they
8th
do.
grade dinner dance. They played the song in Spanish.
Yes.
You get to see this.
So you talked about Mr. Torres, who's amazing. He teaches Spanish through music. And so you'll walk past his classroom at any given time, and the kids are just, he has the music blasting, and the kids he's learning, he's teaching them the songs in Spanish. Now, I don't know this. I'm just, I love music. I'm a lover of music. And so anytime I hear music, I'm going to vibe regardless. And so then at the dinner dance, the DJ played the music. And oh my God, did it turn up. The kids were so excited. They're like, I know this song, and they're singing it. And so I asked one of the kids, like, what are they singing? She's like, I don't know. What is the best song ever? But she was also one of those kids who got an opportunity to go to to that Spanish too. So they're getting something, whether they realize it or not. There's those things where we plant these seeds, but we don't realize that they receive them until later. And so these seeds have been planted, and these kids are going to be amazing. So I wish them nothing but the best.
All right, just following along. I feel like I am in the way. I want you to know I'm going to point at the screen a lot. I tried to get that little red dot deal. Dr. McGowan was kind of skeptical of me using it. So there's
Never use a laser pointer
exposure. And after hearing everybody speak, and after hearing Ms. Cambridge speak, I'm looking at the 8th graders, and I'm standing on this right here, exposure, get our kids an opportunity to dip their toes in all kind of different things and opportunities. We had a kindergarten farm night. Oh man, this was so cool. There were kids that were singing. That was wonderful. And this was part of our career day piece. But at the kindergarten farm night, you could go on a horse ride. It didn't stop there. They were milking a cow. They were milking a cow. That was a kindergarten teacher, Miss Lee, right there, and they had been working on that. All the kindergartners participated. It stretched from the cafeteria all the way down to the kindergarten area, and it was fantastic. I think the other thing that we need to say, our parents have been absolutely
Yes.
wonderful, because they have turned out for everything.
That's awesome.
All about exposure, again, kindergarten, and it takes everybody. We say it takes a village. Here we are in the Cornstalk area going down to kindergarten. Up here, we have ELL represented, Ms. Hewitt and Ms. Speck, and they have live chicks. The ELL department hatches the chicks. The kids get exposed to that. It's all about really just kind of getting back to the fact that we need to know that we are big, that the world is bigger than ourselves, that it takes everybody to make this. I put this picture in here, really kind of caught me off guard. This was Miss Mason, who works with the kindergartners. And if you can look at this, there are a bunch of shirts. And what she did at that time is she was talking about where our clothing comes from. Just this weekend, I was flipping through the channels and they were talking about, in this particular instance, I don't want to use any names because I don't remember it. They were talking about a black cotton farmer and a retired NBA star. And they have gotten together to make clothing. Once again, what about our kids that are exposed to this, that might have lucked across the same thing? Because we get in the attitude now, we need food, we go to the grocery store. Well, guess what? That food just don't appear there. There's somebody at all different levels trying to make that happen. So again, we're looking at not just a school event, but events that can reach outside of the school walls. Learning and fun go hand in hand. It happens during our special events. We know we talk about clubs all the time. What you're looking at right here is you're looking at our spring concert that's going on. Over here, you're looking at our anti-child abuse month. All the kids are dressed in blue. I didn't make that color up. I mean, that's my favorite color, but that represents the anti-abuse month. And again, just pulling kids along and getting them exposed to other things in the world, because the world is bigger than us right here at Nathan Hill. I think that transfers over into what Ms. Cambridge was saying. So guess what? You get to see those things begin to develop. You have a whole new person that you've poured into many people by the time they get to 8th grade. Exposure and fun through clubs. We talked about the dance club. Excuse me, this was brand new. Ms. Hodo, a 4th grade teacher. Teachers are coming through with all kinds of things. This is them in practice. You can see them up here very serious on the stage. What we found out was, guess what? Not only is the adrenaline moving, not only are they excited, but they're ready to perform. So now that's the next step we're trying to add to our clubs. You have a club for 8 weeks. What is going to be the climax of that club? And that is our dance club, which again, started out, but the connection after we dropped the breadcrumbs, once they jump from us over to Heritage, and now we got pom-poms, now we got cheer, now we got all of these things going on that they've been exposed to. Exposure and fun through clubs. Chess club was the other one. Miss Martinez, 3rd grade teacher, going to ELL next year to be a teacher. Right here, just out of the blue, I think it would be fun to show our kids chess. She had some interest, and what that turned out to be, they went several weeks learning chess, to the point of what you see upstairs in the lobby. These are the kids that participated. And this is a little tournament that they had. So now we're in a tournament. Now, again, going back to not just exposing, but going deeper into it, not just the club, but the climax after the club. This is ingrained in their minds. This was just the first year that went on. Exposure. Exposure from school to school partnership. Ms. Cambridge mentioned a little bit of this. Ms. Wagner had been coming over. We've been exposing our kids because like anything else, if you want me to be this, then put something visually in front of me so I can see it. If you want to talk, you want to have Cub Scouts, then you know what? Have the kids that are in Cub Scouts wear their little kerchiefs and come dressed up. Now we're talking about some interest. If you want to have our kids read more, I don't know about when y'all was in school. See, I wasn't one of those kids. I always wanted to be one of those kids. The big thing then was Star Trek. And kids would walk around and they'd be in these books and they would be reading this Star Trek stuff. See, I was a cheater with that. I watched Star Trek on TV and that's how I got in those conversations. The fact of the matter is we have to drive the energy. So Ms. Wagner has been coming over. It's the HMS band recruitment program. This year, we continue to grow. This over here is Miss Peel and her group. They came and they talked a little bit about the play. They did some singing outside in the hallways. You should have seen the eyes of the little ones as they're walking through. Oh my goodness, what is this? Then this was for the fourth graders as they were going on. We talk about Teacher Swap Day. This is, I think it was 23 or so National Junior Honor Society students that came over. They've been coming, but we get better every year. This is in the preschool classroom. You're not just coming to be a part of saying you were part of Teacher Swap. The teachers over here, their directive is to make sure that they are introduced to what we do. Because what we do, I believe, is the greatest job in the world. So introduce them to working with students. They're not just there to stand and watch what's going on. They are participating with the students. Now, let me go back to this one more time, the band recruitment piece. What you're looking here is not just the line. This is the first time ever that Ms. Wagner was able to break up her band instruments. And the kids that had an interest in Nathan Hale, they were able to go and meet with those students, get a bird's eye view of what this looks like. And you're talking about excitement. It was excitement. Exposure to our community friends. It's bigger than us, you guys. We have the fire department. This happens to be a picture right here at the kindergarten promotion, if you will, ceremony. But over here, the fire department has been meeting with us now for going on 3 years. They've been working on their curriculum specifically with our second graders. Learn not to burn. This is the first year that they were able to put it out there. Lesson 1, smoke alarms are important. Fire department to deliver lesson and read aloud. They're getting to know people in those uniforms. It's not just somebody that's there. It's somebody in our community that comes to talk with us, that is with us. This is Miss Ray over at the Lansing Library, hooked up through the reading specialist, Miss Angelo. She comes in and she reads in the loft to various groups of kids, introducing them to the library, introducing them to different stories. And again, I think the smile on her face tells it all. It has been a great experience. Exposure and fun and finding success. Out of all of it, let me tell you, this right here, success, this young man right here, I started to just put a big image of his head up there. That smile is absolutely priceless because you know what? I'm not going to call any names, but I can tell you, and Dr. Lowson mentioned it, this student came to us. He came to us. What we try to do is this. I don't know whether you're going to be with us 3 days, 3 months, 3 years, or whatsoever. But we aim for this to be the best place for any kid to spend their time with us. This young man right here, I'm telling you, unsuccessful from first quarter all the way to third quarter. It's not until we start bearing down, not until we start saying that, guess what? You have everything you need to be successful. But not until he felt that success did we get that smile. And you can see that smile on his face. And what happened right away? took a picture of it, sent it to his mother, gave him a picture so he can take home one up in my office, because that's what this thing is all about. These students right here, again, these are students that Ms. Speck was working with. These are ELL students. They came to the office and they were reading, because the fact of the matter is, for various different deficits that they have, some of them just plain old shy, came there with Ms. Speck. Ms. Speck backs up, and they read the whole paragraph by themselves. That was a big step for them. This is our math bowl team right here. Again, Ms. Martinez, Ms. Halcom, those are our math bowl people, and we know we got more work to do in that too. But going back to that little survey, if you can tell me you love math, then I'll tell you what, you're starting at a different level. Now we got to show them the skills to be successful in math. This young man right here, I know I'm doing a lot of this, but these are just so special to me. I'm sorry. This is 4th grade right here. This young man right here, this is part of the Mad Science Day. They are making volcanoes in the classroom. 23 kids in 4th grade, all of them had a personal volcano that they were making. I'll tell you what, he's staring at something because he's engaged in the instruction. I don't know if I've ever seen him stare at something that long before, ever. He's engaged in it and smiling and a part of it. Echo, who is here also, I think we have tried to do a great job, and Echo has shown it. That's how we have their participation in the sign language club. Sometimes they jump up and they're involved in things that, quite frankly, they know they could take a second seat to. This right here is Miss Matson, who's bringing, and Miss Murray, bringing their kids by again, just showing them that, guess what? You have everything that it takes to be special, and that we love you here. I'm almost out here. Win Extension Pilot, this is for Dr. Los. Kudos to Dr. Los, kudos to Dr. Pettis, because Win Extension Pilot started with just an idea. We had about, and have about 36 third graders that, quite frankly, are below reading level at least a year and a half. And we can't wait until the next year to try to catch that and pull them up. It's not going to happen. My grandma used to say, you know what, you can't burn the candle at both ends, and that's what they're doing. They got to be exposed to 3rd grade work to get ready for 4th grade, and at the same time, we got to get back there and raise the foundations that they didn't get. So the Win Extension Pilot Program began in 3rd quarter. It began with several students because we didn't know whether it was going to work. They showed success. They showed some growth. And believe it or not, I can't say that they said, I love reading all of a sudden, but I can tell you what they said. I love the experience. And if you can feel good about what you're doing, then that propels you to move forward. So then 4th quarter, first time ever, we had the reading place. These kids, these 7, and then the others joined them on Tuesdays and Thursdays for an hour after school. Miss Mendez came over from HMS to do one class. Miss Murray, 2nd grade teacher, did the other class. We broke the kids up, and guess what? They focused and they started learning. Everything isn't repaired in 1 hour. But the idea is, if you're struggling in it and we can get you to stay after school, then guess what? We're moving in the same direction. This turned into the reading place over summer. Miss Cuevas was calling kids that we had called, that some 7 started in the pilot program. The other 30 some were in the reading place program. Now we're talking about summer. It's like, uh-oh, what's going to happen now? And I got to tell you, just about everybody she called said, yes, I want my child to continue on. How does this look as we come to August? It looks like this. We know where these kids are. We don't have to wait for half the year to find them. They're going right where they're supposed to be going, and we're going to see, can we make a difference? Last thing I'm going to say, I promise. Go back to my man that's smiling over here. Math, struggling. This is not a good student as far as his success is concerned. Why? Because he didn't know that he could be a good student. He's smiling. This particular one is math. What we found out, the teacher we had a conversation about him, and the teacher told me that he had grown 2 months. Guess what? I was happy with 2 months, because my thing is, you got to start getting some traction if you're going to go. Turn around, this young man grew 8 months.
Right.
Now, here's the problem. We can't catch him near the end of the year. We gotta catch him at the beginning of the year and grow on to the end of the year.
It's a start.
And when we found success, woo, we do it all over again and keep it going. This right here says it all right here. This is the early childhood promotion ceremony. This is ECHO. We do our multicultural piece. This is outside on the last day, just trying to get everybody together. This is part of that early childhood ceremony. Kids performed right here for the parents. And at the end of the day, you know you've done a great job when you got roses and you're taking a picture. That's
Just if you don't know, we've had ECHO here, ECHO Deaf and Hard of Hearing program here for 32 years. So they're really embedded into our community here. So that's how we have the sign language club, because we want our kids to be able to communicate with their kids. And so, and some of their educators are deaf as well. So some of our teachers also, you don't have fellowship when you're at work. So now we have silent parades. So it's very quiet and we're cheering so everyone can be on one accord. It's just really nice to see. But their lead teacher, Ms. Washington, retired at the end of this year. So we're gonna see what's gonna come next, but we're still rocking and rolling with the Deaf and Hard of Hearing program.
It's part of that inclusion.
So what do we want to do in 25, 26? So we have a lot of things we want to work on, but there are some things we just really want to focus on. The first one is standard-based grading. We've talked a lot about standard-based grading. You've probably heard us talk about it, but I don't know another way to build a better homeschool connection. Because now we're coming back to tell parents, this is the targeted area for your child. If your child is not being successful, you don't have to wait and ask me what I can do at home. I'm giving you the state objective, the Common Core objective to do that. Now, how we did it this year, that's a little bit different. We worked in connection with our parents. So we had multiple parent meetings. We didn't have a large group of parents that turned out. We had a small group of parents that turned out, but we bonded with those small parents. So every time we made a handbook, we sent it to them. Please read it, give me back your details, what you didn't like, you do like, we can make improvements. When we did the standard-based report cards, because there's report cards that go with this, all of the families who participated in that group did receive. They have every single report card at their disposal because I needed their input. So we're trying to work on building that homeschool collaboration, and we're doing this from kindergarten to 5th grade. We are still working on our technology infrastructure upgrades. That's a lot. The new look at the front of Heritage, we have to do the strategic action plan. There's no hemming and hawing about it. This year, we have to do the strategic action plan, and we have the data that we need to do it. It was really great to have the audits, and we were happy about everything in the audits, but now I cannot sit there and look at you or anybody in the community and say, I don't know what Heritage needs or what Sunnybrook needs. I do know because I've been told by ISC 4. Now, we may have other visions and other things that we want, but we have the foundation and the groundwork to do it. I'm still harping on my tracker here, because I ain't gonna let that go. I'm not gonna do that. So we are still looking forward to doing that. And, we'll see where the chip may lay. And I say thank you. I know
Thank
that was
you.
long-winded.
Thank you.
I heard you smirking.
You pulled a Lori.
Yeah, we doing that. Right, we are at item K, recommend motion. Recommend motion to approve the budget and levy timeline as presented, August 11, 2025. Tentative budget, 2025-26 budget information only. No board action. Tentative budget on display in the district office, August the 13th, 2025, September 15th, 2025, September 15th, 2025 again, October 20th, 2025, November 17th, 2025, and November 17th, 2025.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Thompson, second by Ambrose. Ambrose,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Burks, yes. T Hill,
Yes.
Terrell,
Yes.
and LaShure.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Motion to appoint David Schrader, representative, and as alternate, Representative Sherry Hooten to represent Sunnybrook School District 171 in the South Suburban Benefit Cooperative Board of Directors for fiscal year 2025-2026 as presented.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by LaShure, second by Terrell. LaShure,
Yes.
Terrell,
Yes.
Burks, yes. Hill,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
and Thompson.
Yes.
Motion to approve the employment of Mr. Michael Shedd, social worker, Heritage Middle School, salary of $54,314, step 1 of Lane MA+9, effective August 18th, 2025, as presented.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by LaShure, second by Ambrose. Ambrose,
Yes.
LaShure,
Yes.
Burks, yes. Hill,
Yes.
Terrell,
Yes.
and Thompson.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. To approve the employment of Ms. Jessica Pina, social worker, Nathan Hill School, salary amount of $54,314, step 1 of MA+9, effective August 18th, 2025, pending successful background check, results as presented.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by LaShure, second by Terrell. Terrell,
Yes.
LaShure,
Yes.
Burks, yes. Hill,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
and Thompson.
Yes.
Motion carries.
To approve the employment of Miss Angela Richards, third grade teacher, Nathan Hill School, salary of $55,297, step 4 of Lane MA, effective August 18th, 2025, pending successful background check, results as presented.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by LaShure, second by Ambrose. Ambrose,
Yes.
LaShure,
Yes.
Burks, yes. Hill,
Yes.
Terrell,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Motion to approve the employment of Ms. Deja is it Pillow? Palat? Okay, first grade teacher, Nathan Hill School, salary of $51,126. Step 1 of Lane BA, effective August 18th, 2025, pending successful background check, results as presented.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by LaShure, second by Terrell. Terrell,
Yes.
LaShure,
Yes.
Burks, yes. Hill,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Motion to approve employment of Ms. Jade Hines, kindergarten teacher, Nathan Hill School, salary of $51,126. Step 1 of Lane BA, effective August 18th, 2025, pending successful background check, results as presented.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by LaShure, second by Burks. LaShure,
Yes.
Burks, yes. Hill,
Yes.
Terrell,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Motion to approve the employment of Ms. Selena Moffitt, pre-K teacher, Nathan Hill School, salary of $54,749. Step 3 of Lane MA, effective August 18th, 2025, pending successful background check, results as presented.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by LaShure, second by Terrell. Terrell,
Yes.
LaShure,
Yes.
Burks, yes. Hill,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Motion to approve the Nathan Hill LRC carpet replacement project to be completed by MTB Flooring Incorporated for the amount of $51,249 as presented.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by LaShure, second by Ambrose. Ambrose,
Yes.
LaShure,
Yes.
Burks, yes. Hill,
Yes.
Terrell,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Motion carries.
To approve the Nathan Hill LRC circulation desk structural and modification changes as part of the library modernization initiative to be completed by CMM Group for the amount of $15,000, not to exceed $19,000 as presented.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by LaShure, second by Ambrose. Ambrose,
Yes.
LaShure,
Yes.
Burks, yes. Hill,
Yes.
Terrell,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
We are at item L, visitor statements. Do we have any at this time? No. 1, 2, 3, okay. Recommend motion to move to closed session for the purpose of appointment, compensation, student discipline, performance for dismissal of specific employees of the district or superintendent board relations.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by LaShure, second by Ambrose. Ambrose,
Yes.
LaShure,
Yes.
Burks, yes. Hill,
Yes.
Terrell,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
There's no, nothing after, we don't have anything to decide after we come back, so.
We're moving into closed session into your conference room. I'm not sure if I cleaned it up when I looked at it this afternoon.
We did, I'm going right now.
Okay, appreciate you.